You mentioned the Arab Spring again and what impact it had. Did the role of the women change as well, or do you see any changes there?
Well, I mean, since we are the baby boomers, like we started working in the 70s, right? And I think that's the main reason why our kids have become what they are today, because we were at work. When we come back, we try to make them independent, our children. And our children who are now married and have kids, they want to have their kids to be independent as well. And that independence actually created a breed of girls who are not scared to travel abroad, who want to change, who will only marry the guy who will allow them, to continue in their role. They don't mind going into government. They don't mind raising to the glass ceiling. So there is this breed of women which I feel it's scary, actually, because they're too much into education, too much into the let's bring the country up. They're really very interested in raising their kids into, different individuals, not just people who are going to go and sit in cafes and enjoy their time. They want people who are productive. And I met some women in Kuwait, and I say, you don't vote. I was joking about them. You can't even vote. Why are you talking? They said, excuse me, we can't vote, but this guy, he will never get there unless we say so. So, they have that confidence that they can make change even though they are behind the scene. And even Saudi Arabia, of course. Saudi Arabia, they have a lot of women who own universities now, a lot of women who do designs and fashion and filmmaking.
You mentioned the role change for women in the region, and you mentioned that more and more women are going to study abroad. What can educators do to attract more female students from the region?
Well, first provide the degrees probably that women like to study in, have the whole atmosphere fitting for women. But, this is, I'm not talking about USA here because US is already doing that. They are having, the whole environment is very fitting for women. I'm talking about UK, for example. They're not doing. Europe is not really very strong on attracting women into these, into the organizations there. China, Asia, they are not very good in attracting women. Like many girls, I will tell them, I'll send you to China. Excuse me, they don't like women there. They eat us or something, whatever. But degrees mainly, having separate accommodation, not talking about the scarf because many of our women would like to continue to wear it, removing the stigma about women are not, they're kept in the house, in the minds of those who teach there. Stuff like this will help, actually. And actually publicizing the fact that we want more women to come and study with us, that's very important.
So the region is changing quite a lot. Another thing which is changing is the investment into the private sector of education. Can you give me some information about this?
You will like it as well because a lot of women are going to that field. Like I have a person who's starting a university into early childhood education. There is in Dubai itself 83 universities owned by private investors. Turkey, you know what happened, that's part of the MENA region. They have over 300 foundation universities, all started by the big business people, the Sabanjis and the Kuchis family and the Biljis. In Bahrain, there are quite a few universities starting privately as well. Saudi Arabia, a lot of women started the university. Princess Noura, for example, she's a princess. It's one of the hugest universities for women in Saudi. It's the biggest, and that started by a princess, But she died without seeing the graduation of the student. So huge investment happening there, because basically there was a lot of wealth given. Parents died, left a lot of money, and now women are into education, into technology, so they're starting those universities. Probably 50% of ownership are women that own universities and colleges. Most of the schools in Bahrain, the private schools, are owned by women. not by men, which is really interesting fact as well.
Thank you so much for coming, Suad. This is ICEF Monitor, Market Intelligence for International Student Recruitment.